The time has come for Americans to focus on a new kind of conspiracy in their country, a movement called the New Left. And welcome to TFIGlobal Latin America, TFIGlobal's channel dedicated to the America in the Americas. I am your host Michael. If you're watching us on YouTube, please subscribe and press the bell icon to get all the latest updates. If you're watching us on Facebook, do like, share and follow the page. Let's begin. In recent months, the effects of the New Left have been seen in many places. In calls for young men to resist the draft, in campus turmoil, in attacks against law and order, and desecration of the American flag. In reality, it's challenging to pinpoint the New Left as a unified movement. Some attendees of a New Left gathering will be well dressed, while others will be wearing worn-out t-shirts and baggy slacks. Most of them are bohemians with long hair, beards, messy attire, and sandals. Some of them are hippies who enjoy drug use and occult practices like love-ins, be-ins, and happenings. If you pay attention to what they are saying, you will constantly hear profanity and vulgar language. The American New Left is predominantly fixated on identity politics, navigating through a rigid binary of oppressor and oppressed. In contrast, the left-leaning Latin American nations still advocate for orthodox Marxism following emancipatory politics and redistributive policies. The dominance of identity politics is nowhere to be seen. If anything, the anathema with the contemporary American left is pervasive throughout the region. However, Gabriel Boric, the new Chilean president, is an aberration to this. He is trying to impose the nauseating complexities of the American left in his nation, a region completely alien to such ideas. Recently, Chileans rejected a new constitution in a referendum, dealing a major blow to a 3-year campaign by Gabriel Boric to overhaul politics and temper free market policies that made the deeply unequal society an investor darling. With 99% of the ballots counted, 62% voted against the proposed charter drawn up over the past year by a popularly elected convention, compared with just 38% for its approval. While polls had anticipated that the current, more business-friendly framework would be kept in place, they underestimated the landslide result. The vote was meant to be the culmination of a movement that started with mass protests against inequality in late 2019. But instead, it is the campaign's first major defeat and a blow to President Boric, who was relying on the new charter to push highly radical woke ideas incorporated directly from the American leftist playbook. The current constitution dates back to the military dictatorship of Augusto Pinochet, and the referendum was in some sense an indication that most Chileans favor changing the dictatorship-era constitution. Boric is left severely weakened, said Cristobal Hunes, founder of Decide Chile and director of data science at Unholster. No one thought there would be a difference of 20 percentage points. It's a historic and resounding defeat. The proposed document lacked clarity and went too far to incorporate Boric's woke ideas in some of its measures, establishing autonomous indigenous territories and prioritizing the environment and gender parity. This version of leftism is not accepted by Chileans. The war is another arena for Boric to showcase his progressive credentials to his Western overlords. Unlike Latin American nations who have carved out an independent foreign policy and gone ahead with the much-needed policy of non-alignment, the Chilean president left no stone unturned to showcase his support for Ukraine. Chilean President-elect Gabriel Boric even strongly condemned the Russian invasion of Ukraine and called on public opinion to watch and listen closely to the 9-minute message of Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky to the Russian people. For a small nation like Chile to take sides in a great power rivalry makes no geopolitical sense. If anything, smaller nations should avoid getting involved in conflicts between bigger players, as they would only end up getting used as pawns for the major powers. But for President Boric, it seems symbolism is more important than national interests. In the end, Boric is not defending the rights of his people. The president is endangering his citizens because of his intrinsic desire to imitate the new American left. The political culture of Chileans is quite sound. If they continue to have these difficulties, they might not even hesitate to remove Boric from power.